Good morning. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Riya Dawdi,
Yes, sir.
you're from Delhi.
Yes, sir.
Tell us something about yourself.
Sir, my name is Riya Dabi. I was born in Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh, but I have been living most of my life in New Delhi. And I have done my BA in Political Science from Delhi University. And apart from that, I am a person who considers myself as hardworking, who likes to follow my goals and complete them on time. And I also like to do painting, so I also consider myself as a creative person.
What goals did you set for yourself?
So the goals for the daily life, for example, if we have to finish any task on time, what we have to study, what we have to do, how. So for example, while I was preparing for the civil services exam, so the daily dose of the whatever topics I had to cover in a day, how much time I had to allocate for my exercise, how much time I had to allocate for my rest, so and so on.
What is the difference between Delhi and New Delhi?
Delhi is considered as the national capital of the country, and New Delhi is considered as one of the constituencies or one of the districts of the city of Delhi. And it is also called as New Delhi because the part of Delhi which is called New Delhi, it is the administrative center of Delhi, which contains buildings such as the Parliament House, Rashtrapati Bhavan, the Supreme Court. So that is why there is a difference in the terminology because of that.
Is there a difference in administration?
No.
Delhi and New Delhi?
No, sir, there is no difference in administration. The Delhi government looks after the entire city of Delhi.
What is Delhi is known to have a three-tier administrative setup. Can you tell us the three tiers?
So I believe the three tiers would be first or the bottom level would be the district administration or the municipal level of Delhi. Second would be the elected government of Delhi, and third would be the central government because Delhi is a union territory.
Do you think Delhi deserves to be a full state?
So I believe that if Delhi is granted full statehood, then there can be certain advantages to that. For example, the Delhi government will be able to legislate on subjects such as land, public order and police, and the power tussle or the ambiguities in the relationship between the lieutenant governor and the Delhi government can be also resolved. And the Delhi government will also get more powers to look after bodies such as the MCD and the DDA. So I believe that granting Delhi full statehood can have certain advantages.
So why is Delhi not being granted full statehood?
So Delhi has not been granted full statehood because there have been some concerns. Because Delhi is a union territory, and the union government also has its jurisdiction here. It also works in Delhi since the Parliament, the Supreme Court, all the Rashtrapati Bhavan, all these buildings are here. And there's also a sense of security which is required for Delhi becoming a union territory because these buildings and various embassies are also located here. So it is believed that if the union government looks after Delhi as a union territory, then there can be more law and order situation. It can be handled properly. There can be more sense of security as well.
Do you know something about the new IT rules?
The new IT rules, sir. Yes, sir. The new IT rules 2000 have been amended, and the guidelines for the digital intermediaries and the digital media ethics code have been introduced.
Only for the digital media, or for some other media also?
Sir, for the social media intermediaries as well as for the over-the-top or the OTT platforms.
Who are the intermediaries and why are they called intermediaries?
Sir, I'm really sorry, sir. My mask, I don't know, it is falling down. Sir, the social media intermediaries are those platforms which showcase the information from other websites or other platforms on their own platform. For example, Google, Facebook, Twitter, and so on.
What is the core of the dispute between the government and Twitter?
Sir, the main dispute between them is that the government had issued these guidelines, and Twitter had to also
Comply with them.
it had to give its monthly compliance report to the government. It also had to appoint compliance and a grievance redressal officer. So the interim officer was only appointed, and now he has also been removed. So because of these issues, there was a conflict.
What is the dispute regarding content?
Sir, the government feels that certain offensive content is sometimes posted on Twitter by the users, and Twitter sometimes is not able to look after such contents and put them down so that social media can be regulated. And because of this, fake news is also generated, and certain unfortunate events also happen. So because of that, the visibility.
Decide whether content should be removed or not. Twitter or the government?
Sir, I believe that both the government and the Twitter, both
You
the
can't have both. It has to be, somebody has to play the final arbiter. Yes, this content will be removed.
Sir, I believe the final arbiter has to be the government, because it will frame the laws according to the
What about freedom of
national-
speech?
Sir, freedom of speech is granted to Twitter, but there are certain restrictions also to such freedom, because there can be some unfortunate events if fake news is generated. There can be some violent incidents also. People also get motivated by such news. So freedom of speech and expression is granted to Twitter, but the main arbiter has to be the central government, so that Twitter also complies with the national laws.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Ria, according to you, how is the governance in India?
Sir, I believe that the governance in India is good at the moment. It has been gradually improving over the years, and it is looking after the needs of.
But how is it good? There is so much of poverty, there is so much of communal tensions, there is so much of unemployment, there is not even drinking water, and basics are not available to millions, and you are saying that the governance has been good?
Sir, I meant that there are certain problems, but the governance has been improving because poverty has been reduced. The facilities of drinking water, electricity are being provided to
So
the
how
people
long?
gradually.
75 years? It will take you 75 years to give clean drinking water to every Indian.
Sir, I believe that we have a very large population and the resources are also limited. So I believe because of that it is a little difficult, but I still believe that the administration is trying to do its best.
You
and
are
governments-
defending the government without, you are not even joined, you are defending it unnecessarily. Look at the communal tensions. All these cases are being slapped under UAPA against people. Is it done?
Sir, I believe that cases are being registered for communal violence, but under the UAPA law. But then there are review mechanisms and judicial mechanisms also, where the cases are then analyzed and then the.
Achha, tell me, okay, you first tell me about left-wing extremism. When it started, from where it started, what is their objective, what is the situation? Just give me an overview.
Okay,
And after that, you must tell me why I have not been able to sort it out for decades. Yeah, first tell me about left-wing extremism, please.
So left-wing extremism is mainly associated with the events which took place in 1967 in the Naxalbari district of West Bengal, wherein the people tried to snatch away the lands of the various zamindars and the rich people living there, because they believed that they had been denied of the resources for a long time. So violent incident took place, and from that left-wing extremism originated, and it spread to various
Is it
states.
justified? Is it justified? Snatching lands of others, you just said. Indulging in violence, is it justified?
No, sir. In my view, it is not justified, because violence is never the answer, and snatching away the land is also not right.
So tell me then, okay, go ahead. Then after 67, what happened all these years? What is their motive? They are still continuing. Where are they? Where are they very active these days?
Sir, now it has spread to various states such as Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Madhya Pradesh. These are known as the red districts of the red state. Sir, 20 countries.
You're wrong, 19. Which is the 20th member? Is the European Union. Okay, let's talk about some other institutions of which India is a member. India is a part of BIMSTEC.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the full form of BIMSTEC?
Yes, sir. The full form of BIMSTEC is Bay of Bengal Initiative for multi-sectoral, technical and economic cooperation.
Now, from India's point of view, tell me 3 main advantages of being in BIMSTEC. What are the objectives?
Sir, the 3 advantages for India for being part of BIMSTEC can be that it will the countries can cooperate with each other in the Bay of Bengal region and in the larger Indian Ocean region, wherein because of the languishing nature of SAARC, so BIMSTEC can provide a refreshing approach for India. And also these countries can work on issues such as countering terrorism, improving the connectivity and the trade, improving the people-to-people ties as well. And BIMSTEC can also serve as a platform to counter China's influence in India's neighborhood.
All right, my last question.
Yes, sir.
You spoke about SAARC being in limbo or being language. Which countries are members of SAARC but are not members of BIMSTEC?
Sir, I believe Afghanistan is not a member of BIMSTEC, and Sir, Sri Lanka is also not.
Are you sure?
No, sorry, sir. Sri Lanka is a part of BIMSTEC.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ria.
Thank you, sir.
Our discussion with you is over.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
Kindly wait for a few minutes. We'll call you for feedback.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Government, whereby the Afghan government and Taliban can come together, form some sort of interim government, and
Now, he wants the present government in Afghanistan to step down, and then an interim government would be formed. And what is the reaction of the Afghan government?
the Afghan government is not in favor of an interim government. They want an early election so that the one who is popularly elected forms the government there.
Good. Can you tell me some projects which India has executed in Afghanistan?
The India-Afghanistan Friendship Dam or Salma Dam on
Correct.
Hari River. They have built the parliament building of Afghanistan.
Yes.
Hospitals, libraries are also being constructed. They have given funding for Garland Highway connecting major 4 cities there.
Okay. What is the Shatut Dam?
Shatut Dam, yes sir, recently.
What is it?
It is a hydropower plant that India is taking up in Afghanistan.
Is it there or not yet there, or what is the position?
I think it is it is going to be, they have only signed some kind of agreement and it is not in place.
So you're not sure?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, my last and final question to you. Why was the name of Lloyd Austin so prominent in the Indian media last month in March? Lloyd Austin. Who is he?
I'm unable to recall, sir.
Pardon?
I'm unable to recall the name.
The US Defense Secretary.
Yes, he
Do you
visited
remember what
India.
he visited, when he visited? And some important things that were discussed?
Quad was discussed in the meeting,
No, not much, no.
and Beijing's adventurous policies
Okay.
in the region.
Defense purchases?
Defense purchases were also
Can you
discussed.
name a very important US defense related item which India is going to purchase, likely to purchase, which was prominently reported in the papers? Have you heard of drones?
Yes, sir, I have heard.
Is
of
India
that.
going to buy any drones from America? No, you're not sure.
I haven't.
You haven't. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. Ms. Jagati, our discussion with you is over. Kindly wait for a few minutes outside. We'll call you for feedback.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.